I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie, F. Gary Gray. Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like, put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now, but for the hustlers.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. 50 Cent has reignited his feud with Rick Ross, accusing the Miami rapper of once again stealing from him, this time tied to a rumored BMF movie project. The Queens mogul took to Instagram with a scathing post, hinting that Ross has been using the BMF brand and storylines he helped popularize through his hit Stars series without permission or credit. "How many times you gonna eat off my work? This time I'm not letting it slide," 50 wrote. According to insiders, Ross has been in talks with producers about a big screen adaptation of the BMF saga, allegedly cutting 50 out of the deal despite his massive role in bringing the story to television. The move has enraged 50, who reportedly sees it as a blatant attempt to cash in on his groundwork.
With you and Ross, that's just been going on for so long.
Nothing else works for him outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me. It gets covered further. I get covered across the board. They get covered on the hip hop level. It is what it is.
Fans immediately flooded social media with memes and commentary, reigniting the long-standing rivalry between the two heavyweights. Some praised 50 for defending his work, while others accused him of overreacting. With the BMF brand already tied to massive controversies and millions of dollars at stake, this latest flare-up could spill into legal territory. One thing's clear: 50 Cent isn't backing down, and Ross may be facing another public takedown. 50 Cent has officially escalated his dispute with Rick Ross, taking aim at fresh allegations of intellectual property overreach and strategic moves connected to the Black Mafia family brand. The ongoing feud between the two heavyweight figures intensified when Rick Ross publicly announced his collaboration with Big Meech for a high-profile Welcome Home concert, sparking new tension throughout the industry. In response, 50 Cent posted a series of statements questioning Big Meech's credibility and declaring that the Black Mafia family television series would not be renewed for another season, an announcement that sent ripples across fan communities. Rick Ross countered by suggesting he already had a new BMF movie in development, a claim that immediately raised eyebrows. 50 Cent fired back, stressing that any film project tied to the BMF name cannot legally proceed without his approval, since his production company controls all screen rights to the story. This move, framed as chess, not checkers, positioned 50 Cent as the gatekeeper of the franchise's future while putting pressure on Ross to clarify his intentions. Fans are now questioning whether a new BMF movie genuinely exists or whether Ross has been leveraging the name for publicity, reigniting speculation about long-standing rivalries and potential business conflicts. The clash between these two artists has always been more than personal. It's a high-stakes battle over branding, creative control, and ownership rights. Rick Ross and Big Meech's February concert announcement effectively lit the fuse for this latest round, uniting music, media, and legal observers in anticipation of what may come next. The highly publicized concert was framed as a grand welcome home celebration for Big Meech, who has been incarcerated since 2008.
Gatling. I'm making this recording in regards to my dad. He's Dion Gatling. Most people know him as Cuffy. But I wanted to make this recording so I can shed light on some facts. My dad was set up by one of his best friends, which is Demetrius Flannery, also known as Big Meech. My dad and Meech have been friends for 30 years plus. I've known Meech my whole life. I look at him like an uncle. Like, this situation has been completely devastating on so many different levels, and there's still so many questions that aren't answered. At this point, I can only shed light on what I know for sure to be facts, and hopefully one day I will have the complete truth. But in 2011, around that time, Meech reached out to my dad in regards to creating a BMF movie. So Meech hooked my dad up with a woman named Tammy Cohen's. At the time, Tammy was Meech's power of attorney. Also, she owned the life rights. So my dad was working with Meech, Tammy, T, basically trying to work on a movie. Finally arrested my dad and we received the discovery. He knew exactly who CS1 was, and he told me and my mom that it was Tammy Cohen's. At that time, we really did not want to believe. We wanted to give Meech the benefit of the doubt. It was really, really hard to believe that Meech would set my dad up. It was almost unbelievable. So we were able to like reach out, get a message to Meech, and basically let him know that Tammy was an informant. We later received a message from him saying that it had to be a misunderstanding. Just call her, she'll straighten this out. So on, so on. And at this time, my dad was like, I'm not dumb. I'm not about to call and inform.
Big Meech, born Demetrius Flannery, was widely recognized as the co-founder and principal leader of the Black Mafia family, a notorious drug trafficking and money laundering organization that expanded far beyond its Detroit roots.
Did Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy so you could get caught up in it? How did that happen? So that means you got to go back to the movies.
Okay, so let me take them back. So me and Tammy were working on the BMF movie. I originally had the script and paid for the script for the BMF movie, not the show that 50's doing on Stars. But I originally paid for the script for the BMF movie, so we were shopping the movie.
So Tammy was involved at that time, which is CS1. So
Tammy Cowan, CS1, had all Meech's life rights.
Right. And what year was that?
This all the way back in 2010.
Okay. So
we proved that there was a legitimate business.
Right.
Legal business.
Right.
So, Meech, so let's take it back. The original target was the guy by the name of Fidel Suarez. That was a Mexican cartel member out of California. He was the initial target.
Right. Fidel Suarez was the initial target out of Cali.
His name is in the paperwork.
Right.
Tammy was trying to get Suarez.
Alongside his brother Terry, Southwest T. Flannery, Big Meech began building the operation in the late 1980s, starting on the streets of Southwest Detroit before expanding across multiple states. The Black Mafia family became known for its disciplined structure, loyalty-based hierarchy, and near-military precision, which helped the organization remain untouchable for years, both from rivals and law enforcement. This dominance changed dramatically in 2003 when the DEA and FBI launched Operation Motor City Mafia, a major sting operation aimed at dismantling the empire.
Rights to her.
What I'm saying is, let's just say that Meech didn't know about, Tammy was gonna set up Cuffy and the Mexican Suarez or whatever, right?
Right.
But after he's found out, because everybody knows she's an informant now, they're still doing the show with her. They're still dealing with her. She was still on the red carpet for BMF with Lil Meech and all them. Don't you feel like that's dishonorable, bro? Like to still be dealing with her knowing that she got your man banged for 30 years?
Yeah, it's definitely, if it happened like that, it's definitely dishonorable, but you have to look at something else. Like if she owned everything, if she owned the rights to that, like you're not getting her off the red carpet. Like you understand that too? That's her.
So yeah, but you still got the option to not do business with her though, bro.
But not doing business with her is giving her your whole life story too, for sure.
the crackdown led to the arrest of numerous key figures, including Raphael Smurf Allison, Jabari Hayes, DeCarlo Hoskins, Omar McCree, and Jeffrey Leon, among others. Following the arrests, many associates either faced long prison sentences or agreed to cooperate with federal investigators. By 2005, the Black Mafia family's tight structure had been pierced by informants and surveillance, creating vulnerabilities throughout its network. A series of raids and seizures followed, uncovering millions of dollars in assets, luxury properties, high-end vehicles, large quantities of narcotics, and an arsenal of firearms. Ultimately, Big Meech and Terry Flenory were arrested and indicted on multiple charges, including conspiracy to distribute more than 5 kilograms of cocaine, possession with intent to distribute over 500 grams, conspiracy to launder monetary instruments, and 2 additional counts of large-scale cocaine distribution. These sweeping charges marked the end of BMF's reign and laid the groundwork for the ongoing legacy battles still unfolding today. The legal battle continued for years, eventually concluding in 2008 when Big Meech received a 30-year federal prison sentence. Yet the story took an unexpected turn. In October of last year, news broke that Big Meech was set to be released early, first entering a court-approved rehabilitation program and then scheduled for full release by August of this year. This announcement raised immediate questions, since even after crediting time already served, his sentence should have kept him incarcerated for several more years. Speculation quickly grew that an undisclosed deal had been struck with federal authorities. Long before public accusations surfaced, whispers had circulated that Big Meech was cooperating with investigators. One key detail fueling these rumors was his long-standing friendship with Tammy Cowens, a known government informant who allegedly helped negotiate the early release arrangement. Critics suggested that such an outcome would not have been possible without Big Meech providing valuable information or testimony in exchange for leniency. According to industry insiders, the supposed big fish offered up to federal agents was Dion Gatling, better known as Cuffy, an influential figure in the drug trade and a former business associate of Big Meech. The two men had been linked for years through mutual ventures and social circles. However, Cuffy's daughter, Tamara Gatling, later expressed her family's outrage at discovering that Big Meech had allegedly cooperated against him, stating publicly that their trust had been shattered. This narrative, whether entirely accurate or a mix of speculation and fact, has fueled ongoing debates about loyalty, federal cooperation, and the real cost of freedom. The implications of these claims continue to ripple through the hip-hop community and legal circles alike, reshaping how the legacy of the Black Mafia family is being interpreted today. Investigators reportedly uncovered the identity of one of the confidential informants connected to the case through official records. And to the surprise of many, it was revealed as Tammy Cowens, long considered one of Big Meech's closest allies. This revelation sent shockwaves through both the legal and entertainment communities, casting new scrutiny on the circumstances surrounding Big Meech's release and reshaping public perception of the case. Dion "Cuffy" Gatling later addressed the situation in a leaked jailhouse phone call. During the call, he detailed how he believed Big Meech had set him up, outlining a chain of events that, in his view, positioned him directly in the crosshairs of federal agents. The recording circulated widely online, adding fuel to speculation about deals, betrayals, and secret arrangements. The context underscores a harsh reality. Serving a 30-year sentence is an unimaginable burden for most individuals, and history shows many have sought ways to reduce their time, even at great reputational cost. Industry figure WAC 100 further intensified the debate, claiming that Big Meech compromised himself even more deeply by conducting business with Tammy Cowens and transferring the rights to his life story over to her control. This development is critical because it ties directly into the ongoing feud between 50 Cent and Rick Ross. When 50 Cent publicly labeled Big Meech a rat, he posted a photo alongside the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech 50," adding that Meech's biggest mistake was failing to maintain the relationship that had once shielded him from scrutiny. The statement not only reignited old tensions, but also repositioned the debate about authenticity, loyalty, and who truly controls the narrative of BMF's legacy. Tammy Cowan's upcoming tell-all documentary has become the newest flashpoint in the ongoing BMF saga. For those unfamiliar, G-Unit Film and Television, headed by 50 Cent, is one of the production companies behind the Black Mafia Family series, which dramatizes the rise and fall of Big Meech and his brother Terry. Tammy Cowans currently holds the life rights to Big Meech's story and also serves as a co-producer on the show, giving her enormous influence over how the narrative is portrayed. This collaboration originally positioned 50 Cent, Big Meech, and Tammy Cowans as aligned business partners with seemingly shared interests. However, when news surfaced that Big Meech was working with Rick Ross on a separate project, 50 Cent reportedly viewed the move as a sharp betrayal. Ross's controversial past as a correctional officer, an image that earned him the nickname Officer Ricky, has long been a central point of tension between the two men. Over the years, 50 has openly suggested that Ross's law enforcement background raises questions about credibility and loyalty, and he's been vocal about not trusting Ross's motives or alliances within the industry. This animosity dates back years. In a 2015 interview with Tim Westwood, 50 Cent directly insinuated that Rick Ross could still be functioning as an informant. He doubled down on this stance during a 2019 appearance on Los Angeles Real 92.3 with Bootleg Kev and DJ Head, stating flatly that Ross's music was irrelevant and that there was nothing about Ross's career that he respected. These comments reinforced the perception that the feud was rooted not just in business, but also in principles about authenticity and reputation within hip-hop culture. Yet the conflict has not been entirely one-sided. Rick Ross has repeatedly fired back with his own public statements, music references, and strategic partnerships aimed at undermining 50 Cent's position, transforming their rivalry into one of the longest-running and most scrutinized beefs in modern hip-hop. The upcoming documentary from Tammy Cowans now stands at the center of this battle, with fans and insiders closely watching to see whose version of the story will dominate. Rick Ross has wasted no time responding to the new round of tension, and his latest moves show he's ready to escalate the conflict into a full-scale branding war. In the weeks following the Tammy Cowans documentary buzz, Ross began teasing a series of exclusive BMF-related projects on social media. Without naming 50 Cent directly, he posted cryptic captions about taking back the real story and keeping it authentic, fueling speculation that he's working on a rival narrative or parallel franchise. These hints immediately grabbed headlines and sent fan forums into overdrive. Industry insiders say Ross has been holding closed-door meetings with major streaming platforms and production partners, testing the waters to see if there's interest in a new series or docu-series tied to the BMF name. While Ross cannot legally use the life rights without Tammy Cowans' approval, he could commission a project inspired by loosely based events or create a fictionalized spin on similar themes. This strategy, similar to other rebranded crime sagas on TV, could allow Ross to bypass the rights issue while still capitalizing on public curiosity about the BMF legacy. Adding more intrigue, Ross has also started using his music releases and guest appearances to reignite the narrative. He's hinted in lyrics that truths still hidden will be revealed, and even promised that new documentaries are coming. For observers, it's clear Ross is positioning himself not only as a rival to 50 Cent in music, but also as a competing storyteller in the entertainment arena. This approach could dramatically reshape the battle between the two hip-hop moguls. Instead of simply trading insults, they're now fighting for ownership of a story with major cultural weight and commercial potential. Fans, bloggers, and legal experts alike are watching closely to see if Ross's moves cross any contractual lines, and whether 50 Cent will respond with legal action or another public broadside to shut the whole thing down before it begins. Rick Ross has fired plenty of shots at 50 Cent over the years, dissing him in songs, interviews, and even public appearances. Back in 2020, during an episode of I Am Athlete with Channing Crowder and Fred Taylor, Ross openly questioned 50 Cent's musical relevance and called him out for being past his prime, fueling a rivalry that had already spanned more than a decade. After 50 Cent publicly labeled Big Meech a rat, Ross wasted no time responding. He posted a string of Instagram stories aimed at 50, telling him to get out of his feelings and focus on what matters most: business and money. The videos quickly spread online, sparking debates about whether Ross was simply defending himself or deliberately escalating the tension. But 50 Cent wasn't going to let the comments slide. He clapped back by sharing a TMZ article emphasizing his exclusive ownership of the BMF franchise rights. According to the report, Rick Ross cannot legally produce a BMF film or series without first obtaining clearance from 50 Cent himself. Insiders confirmed that 50 is the sole owner of both the television and film rights, meaning any rival project would face major legal hurdles before it could ever be greenlit. Sources close to the deal told TMZ that Ross may have to rethink his movie plans entirely, as getting approval from his #1 competitor will be extremely difficult. 50 Cent reinforced the point in his caption, writing that Ross could say whatever he wants, but it wouldn't change the facts about ownership. For fans, the standoff has turned into a chess match, one of hip-hop's longest-running feuds, evolving into a legal and business power struggle. So what do you think? Is Rick Ross stepping out of bounds with his moves, or is 50 Cent simply protecting what he's built? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into the biggest stories shaping hip-hop today.